Welcome you on to another episode of the Presidential Executive. What's going on? This is your boy right here, JB. This is my boy over there, El Presidente, Rag. What it do, my brother?
Man, what's going on, brother?
Man, you know, everyday living, man. Everyday living, man. Tell them where they can find us at, Rag.
Man, wherever you stream your podcast at, we are on YouTube. We are on Google Podcasts. We are on Apple. We are on Amazon. We are on Spotify and Stitcher.
Yeah.
Hold up.
What's up?
Google is YouTube, man.
You did say Google.
Yes,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Apple. It's Apple.
It's Apple, YouTube.
It's Apple, YouTube, iHeartRadio,
Yeah.
Spotify, Amazon Music, and Stitcher.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, no, I knew. I was like, wait a second, it changed. I was
yeah.
like, it was the Apple I left out.
almost,
But I know though.
I almost didn't catch it when you said it. But
I'd be listening to myself.
It's YouTube podcast now.
Yeah.
Google is no more. Y'all go ahead and like this video right now. We're wherever that you stream podcasts. Want to get straight into it, man. Actually, I was looking at some YouTube videos earlier, and you know, I get we got to go through our thing, but then I'm just like, I want to get to, you know, what they said the video about. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about Usher. You know what I'm saying? Doing something to somebody. You know, but then they spend 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Talk about something else. I'm like, let's get to it. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about. But neither here nor there.
Our shenanigans.
Yeah.
I mean, even when we get off topic, our shenanigans are entertaining. Like, I know what you're talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But yeah,
So, it is what it is. I'm with you. All right. This first one here I want to get on is the FBI. The FBI situation, like, this is one of the things was interesting to me because, especially out during election season, even some of the people I talked to personally, you know what I'm saying, was just always talking to me. Like, man, I just want to know, like, why did you know what I'm saying, what do you have against Trump or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And most of the people, about 90% of the people always said, man, January 6th, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can't, you know what I'm saying? How can we make something January 6th? And I tried to tell him, I was like, look, you know, I think I'm a conspiracy theorist. I told him, I think I said on the pod as well, I remember seeing video and seeing people standing in front of the door of the Capitol of security, and people, they just letting people in. Like, literally, like, they just sitting there and they just letting them in. Oh, no, bro, da-da-da-da-da. So now with this whole FBI informants, I think it's called Human, let me read it here. Let me see. So we got the FBI informants told government January 6th. Let me see if I can pull this up. I don't know if y'all can read. I tried to look at it the last time when it was, on a rerun. I'm not sure if you can read it that much on the live or not. I'm not sure, but it looked clear to me.
Right.
It looked clear to me on the thing. So if y'all can't, follow it is what it is. So, all right, it says, all right, the FBI should have done more to gather intelligence before the Capitol riot, according to a watchdog report Thursday that also said no undercover FBI employees were on the scene January 6, 2021, and none of the Bureau's informants was authorized to participate. The DOJ, but it's the Department of Justice Office of Inspector General, released a review nearly 4 years after the event that rattled the foundations of American democracy, which we all know what that is. That was, the January 6th, everybody blamed, Trump for, doing what he do. And he said, while in scope, it revealed that at least 23, that's what it's called, confidential human sources, CHSs, were working for the FBI prior to the incident. So, okay. Kind of to dissect this a little bit, going through the whole thing too, it was 26 in all, but I think they said 23 informants were authorized to enter the Capitol, and most of them were involved in illegal acts. You know what I'm saying? Illegal acts, whether you want to say someone was wearing Trump stuff, you know what I'm saying, having the stuff, trying to make it look like it was, you know what I'm saying, something that it wasn't. And so, like I said, it's exposure season, man. You know what I'm saying? We've been saying this for a long time now, literally all year. Seems like every week. You know what I mean? And so this is, to me, and this is just a little bit of it, so it's not even a total detailed report right now, but this is more evidence, as we saw if you remember 6 months ago or so, where Mark Zuckerberg came out about Facebook and that he was kind of bullied into, you know what I'm saying, what you call it, like blocking out people with certain information, especially when you talk about the bang bang and stuff like that. So this is just another piece this I think puts a lot of stuff into perspective when it comes to January 6th, and that we need to look at this a little different, man. But what you gotta say about this right before I get back in?
I mean, dude, first of all, I don't trust the government. I don't trust the FBI. I don't trust the
Right.
CIA. I don't trust none of them niggas. It's like saying, JB, I don't like you, but your right hand is cool. You know what I'm saying? JB, I can't stand you, but your left foot is amazing. I mess with your kneecap though, bro. Like, they are all a part of. Now, sometimes they fight each other.
Yeah.
Just like some people, you're not supposed to be eating that piece of cake, but you fight against yourself. You need to exercise, but you fight against yourself.
This is true.
Sometimes some of those branches fight against each other. But when it all boils down to it, when everything comes to light, and again, history has proven, all we got to do is go back. When you look at Watergate, they didn't have nothing to do with that. Okay, well, it was them, but it wasn't the president. Oh, okay, well, they told him after the fact. Oh, so he was aware of it anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so history has proven that no matter what, like, when you do certain things, when certain things go on, everybody at the top knows. The question is just, how complicit are you? All right, the question is, are you turning a blind eye to it, or are you an active participant? And everything, like I said, for years we find out, oh, no, the FBI wasn't looking at King and Malcolm X and the Black Panthers, and no, they actually had COINTELPRO going on. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, again, my whole, on two things can be true.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump did not tell anybody to go physically storm the Capitol. But he also did not come and speak out against it. Case in point, when the assassination attempt was made, one of the things, and I don't fool with Moneybag Joe, but what he did say is that was a deplorable act. It should not be tolerated, regardless of your political party. Like, again, we got sons. If your son do something fucked up, you're not gonna not love your son. But you might come out and be like, hey, he shouldn't have robbed that store.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have shot that person.
You talking about when he pardoned his son?
No.
Are you talking about something else?
No. I'm saying.
Okay.
I was just talking about how he
In
spoke
general,
out against when the assassination attempt happened against Trump.
Okay.
He actually said that was a deplorable act. That type of behavior should not be tolerated. That's not what we should be doing. So regardless of, even if he didn't mean it, he said it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, the thing that a lot of people, I think, no, Trump didn't say, hey, y'all, storm the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say that. But you know what to say to push people buttons. Like, we all watched The Sopranos. You remember in season 2 when Tony's mom was trying to get Uncle Junior to kill him? She never said kill him.
Yeah.
She was just saying, if you're the boss, I don't know how you could tolerate that. If it wasn't your nephew, I don't even want to say what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so Uncle Junior is now like, are you telling me I got to do that? That's my own flesh and blood. She never said come out and kill Tony, but you know how to point, you know how to allude to it.
Right.
And that's all I'm saying. He never said do it, but he insinuated that if they're going to steal this election from us, quote unquote, then we can't stand for that. It's something that needs to be done to show them that we're not going to tolerate having the election stolen from us. Right. And so it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm not going to, well, what's the movie, again, Batman. You remember Two-Face, the Joker in there with Two-Face?
Yeah. And
he gave him the gun? He didn't tell him what to do with it. He said, here you go. You whatever you feel is best.
Yeah.
And that's all, like, that's what manipulation is. Like, sometimes it's not telling people what to do, but it's getting you to do what I want you to do without actually saying that. And so now, if I don't agree with it, if it's deplorable, if it's despicable, then come out and say, look, Yes, I feel like the election was stolen. I feel like it was rigged. I feel like all of these people were colluding. However, this is not the way. We are still one country. This is not the way to do that.
And he did that day.
What exactly did he say? What was his exact
I can look it up.
Because he said they were heroes.
No. That was another incident. He said.
No, he said the people. He said those people were heroes.
Nah, that was
like look it up. What exactly did he say?
I look. It's gonna take a minute, but
okay, no. I want to know exactly what he said.
He came back out either later that day or the next day. Was like what you said, but it was like this is not the way. He didn't want anybody to get hurt. You know, I think a couple families passed or whatever like that. You know what I mean? So he did say that. I can see specifically what he said.
Yeah, no, I want because he did not come out and say that this is. I do not support this. I do not stand with that. That is not what I meant. Yeah. Now you might say I didn't want nobody to die, but that ain't saying no. You shouldn't have done that. Y'all are wrong. I don't. If you did that in my name, like disown me. I don't want no part of that. Don't put my name on that. Yeah. He didn't say that.
No, he didn't say
and that's
that.
what I'm saying. You're not going to say that.
But just like you're saying, he alluded to not
I
saying.
don't know. I
not
don't want
to
nobody
saying
to
go
die.
right. Hold on, let me finish. He didn't say not to go to riot, just like you said. But just like he didn't say the exact words that you said, but he alluded to this is what he was talking about. So if you use it on this side, saying that he didn't say go do something. But then he said, in other words, like, look, this not cool. I don't vouch for this.
He didn't say that.
No, he alluded to, whether he said it verbatim, he alluded to it, just like you said.
If somebody does some crime in your name, you cannot allude to an apology or disowning the action. You got to come out and say, I ain't had nothing to do with that.
But he didn't do the crime.
But again.
So he can't speak for nobody else.
If you go back and say.
I see exactly what he said, but
if you go back and say, and see, this falls into like, let's just be objective about it. If somebody goes steal in your name,
objective.
No, if somebody steals in your name, you're gonna allude to them, or you're gonna allude to saying, "Oh well, you know, I wouldn't tell nobody to steal." You know, you're gonna say, "I ain't had nothing to do with that." You ain't gonna say, you're not gonna allude to it. You're gonna say, Jamal L. Brown did not have anything. I do not co-sign it. I did not do it.
And he did.
And I cannot speak for those people. Now, if that's what they want to do, and they deserve to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. He didn't say that. No, saying I don't want
he
people
didn't
to
say
die,
it verbatim,
I don't
but
want loss of American
but he don't
life.
have to say exactly what you said for you to know that he didn't mean for none of that to happen.
He never said anything to let you know he didn't mean for none of that to happen.
Okay, well, we ain't got that on the show.
And like I said, I know we ain't got time, but please pull that up so we can come back, because I guarantee you it was nothing in his speech that came out and said, I am 100% against that.
Now, what speech you talking about, though?
When he came out and spoke out against, or alluding to speaking out against what happened on January 6th.
Yeah, that was like several times afterwards, though.
But he never again came out and said, in any kind of way, I don't support this action. This is not what I'm on. This is not what I'm about. And again, like I said, I don't fool with Moneybag. But he did say right afterwards, this is deplorable. This is not what we should be doing. This is not what it's about. And whoever the person is, like whatever the consequence is for you attempting to do that, you deserve to be punished to the fullest extent of the law.
I will look this up. Not sure we'll get to it on the show, but I remember him saying he didn't even bring it up, but it was a reporter that asked him about this. Do you stand for this? Da 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 da. He was just like, this is not what it's about. Yes, they stole. I believe they stole this, da 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 da, but this is not what it's about. And then he gave a shout out to the families that got hurt or murdered or whatever that happened during the incident. So it definitely happened, but it didn't get the ratings. It didn't get the pub because we knew who was in office. And so anything that he says like that, you know, puts him in a brighter light, it's not going to make the crazy news. You know what I'm saying? So, but I will look this up, whether doing the show or maybe even afterwards or something like that. But like I said, this whole thing to me is a blow up because I think that's what they wanted. They wanted to turn into a race thing, a race situation with the whole capital. Oh, because the black people did da 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 da.
I mean, and that's true.
But yeah, but that wasn't even the case.
No, that's not the point. But again,
they conjured up that.
If that was the case, but we already know what it would be. But that ain't the point. But with that being said, we know the reason why they wasn't punished to the fullest extent of the law. Because think about it. If you sell secrets, that's punishable by death. But I can assault the White House and nothing happens to me. I don't do life. But if I tell a Russian about a drone, that's punishable by death. And we have historical fact of people who have been put to death because they gave secrets away to the Russians or to the whether it was the Soviet Union or whoever, to China or whatever. That's treason. But now for you to storm the Capitol, that's not a treasonous act. For you to attempt to kill people just because you disagree with their political affiliation, that's not a treasonous act. And to say anything, I don't have to allude to nothing to say anything other than because on the flip side of that, when the Democrats don't agree or they fake news or whatever, you don't allude to treason. You say that you come out and say that that's treason. But now when somebody actually does treason, you allude to I ain't have nothing to do with it. And that's all I'm saying.
So the 26
that's why people
FBI informants ain't got nothing to do with that? Why people wasn't arrested or indicted to the fullest extent of the law with these 26 now FBI informants that were involved in it? You don't think they had nothing to do with why certain things didn't go the way that it went?
Okay, and again, the FBI, they're all a part of it.
That was a reason.
They're all a part of it. Just like they knew about 9/11, and they did a test run in 95 when the towers blew up. That was the whole point of the explosion in 1995. It was a whole test run. Okay. And again, like I said, all of that is like that. It ain't nothing that go on that all of those people are not a part of or involved in. Now, granted, every single person that's in the FBI don't know, but the people at the top, everybody at the top, every CEO or president or whatever their position is, they in on it. That's what they do. And they get us to go back and forth with each other, like it's actually like they're actually against each other. No, they're all in it.
And what I was saying the whole time, they were all like in it against one person. that's what I was saying the whole time.
And they're not against him
because nobody liked him. Even his own party didn't like Trump. So it was everybody that conjured up all these felony things and pointed. They took everything and pointed it straight to him. Let me finish reading some of this stuff right here. So it says, all right, where was it? It says, while none of the 23 informants were authorized to enter, they're talking about the FBI informants, to enter the Capitol or commit illegal acts, 4 of them entered the Capitol building and 13 others entered the restricted area around it. Despite this, none of these informants have faced prosecution. The report reveals that 3 informants were explicitly tasked with traveling to Washington, D.C. in the days leading up to January 6th to monitor and report on the activities of the specific domestic terrorism subjects believed to be attending the rally. The FBI's Washington field office authorized these assignments. 9 other CHSs, which is the FBI informants, neither entered restricted areas nor engaged in either illegal activity. So, like I said, this is just a tip of the iceberg here. This is all, to me, and I think even Stephen A. said it, because we know Stephen A., you know, he say he an independent, but he always leans toward the liberal, and he pretty much saying what I've been saying, like all of this, even with some of this information not being as complete, there's obviously more to come out, that it looked like Trump was right all along, talking about election interference, talking about, you know what I'm saying, the stuff was rigged, you know what I'm saying, against him, not even just the election, but the stuff, the riot that they conjured up that made it all this stuff. So it's just looking real bad, even for the Dems. And it's even been even worse. I don't know if you've seen the stuff that's been happening on The View. I don't watch The View, but I watch some of the commentary about The View. And so that's obviously a liberal-leaning show and stuff. It's just, even what I said after the election stuff, this stuff is going to make the Democrat Party take tear down so it can build back up. It may be calling itself another thing, you know what I'm saying, here eventually. But I think some of this stuff, I think it's good that it's coming out because, as you said, we know, you said two two wings on the same bird. You know what I'm saying? That is true in a lot of situations, but in this particular situation, you pretty much had everybody, CIA, FBI, pointing toward this one person to make sure that he's not doing what he's hopefully was going to do January 20th when he gets sworn in as the 47th president. So, yeah, man, all this stuff is, and that's all I'm gonna read. I ain't gonna read too much. It's a whole article. You can go to Newsweek or whatever your site, but I think this is one of this particular Newsweek. You can check that out on. So it's
I mean, again, I just going to that view thing is one thing. Charlemagne was on there and he said something very profound to view. Because him and Whoopi Goldberg kind of exchanged words for a minute, but then it wasn't.
I saw that.
It got kind of misconstrued, but it wasn't. It was a misunderstanding of what was said. But he asked her, and he said both parties. He said, "How come Democrats cannot say when Democrats are wrong?" And then he said, "But how come Republicans can't say when Republicans are wrong?" And that's the problem that I have. That's the problem that a lot of people have. It ain't about like when something is wrong, and we've done this. When we watch, we're people of the faith, but when so-called faith organization of people of the faith be wrong, we say you're wrong. We don't allude to it. We don't hint around it or insinuate it. We say that that's wrong. You can't do that. Now, does that mean we throwing you away with the bathwater? No. Ask the Father for forgiveness and do better and work to make it right. Work to correct it. But we don't have no problem saying, hey, this is wrong. You can't do that. Or, hey, you know what? No, this ain't love. You ain't moving in love. Or, you trying to cover up this because that's your cousin or your nephew or whatever. Like, no, that's not godly. You supposed to be, in minute, like, you can't do that. So why is it if I'm a part of a political party and this thing is wrong or it's illegal or it's despicable or if it's treasonous or it's whatever words you want to use, if I'm really about that life, but no, I got to play the game. I got to look out for the base that I'm trying to get to vote for me. So I can't come out and say, you wrong. I can't come out and say that this is despicable or deplorable. Because you know why? Because those votes are more important to me than the truth.
You're going to mess up
essentially,
yourself,
that's what all of them are on, both sides. Because I am so afraid to lose my base, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to offend, even at the expense of telling the truth.
Yeah.
And again, if they was really both on different sides of the thing, ain't neither side got rid of student loans. They say it, ain't happen. Ain't neither side gave reparations. They say it, ain't happen. Ain't neither side like the taxes still.
But only one side say it.
No, what I'm saying is
ain't nobody talking about
the
student loans self. The other side.
Well, I mean, no, they're not going to say it, but they're going to talk about, we don't know why people are in debt. Because y'all guy created the stuff, Reaganomics. That's y'all guy. He won by a landslide. Like the only one that came closest this last one when, the way Trump beat Harris. But like prior to that, the biggest landslide was when Reagan won. The first, I believe it was the first time, the biggest landslide was when he won. But all of and what I'm saying is that we are still suffering from the blowback of all of his policies and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's again, nobody is perfect. That's why I don't look at the men, because these men and these women are not perfect. But when stuff is wrong, we got to stop being this gang mentality. That we don't say, because that's what the gang mentality is. Like, I could know you wrong. And I'm just, I don't know nothing about all that. And the Democrats do it, and the Republicans do it. If you're wrong, just say, hey, it's wrong, and we're going to do better. And the reason why we can't heal as a country, because we talk about accountability, but nobody wants to say, hey, you know what? That's some bullshit that we did. And for those of us who didn't say nothing, that's some bullshit for us not saying nothing. But we ain't going to be in that position no more. Because we finna fix that. We're gonna work to make that right. We don't do that. We dance around it. We do a lot of alluding to it, and that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the politicians or the Democrats or Republicans, whether they do it or not, because at the end of the day, like you said, it's a game. It's a career for them. It's people like us. It's people that have to, you know what I'm saying, get saturated with this stuff, and we just regurgitate everything that they say. And so now it's to me, that's on us. That's the way they gonna do what they do, and that's why I think this election showed, you know what I mean, more people, they have their own mind. They're gonna speak out and do something and not just go, you know, kind of with the status quo. So like I said, even with me, I follow the trail. I follow the truth. I follow, like we said, the word. That's what I follow. If that's on the Democrat side, fine. If this on the Republican side, that's what it is. You can call me a supporter on this side, whatever. I'm just following the trail where it goes. You know what I'm saying? No matter where that leads me to, or where, you know, people think that's where you at, I just follow the trail. Just like we were talking about last week with Luigi. You know what I'm saying? Like, people call you conspiracy, all rag. What you talking about? It's an inside job. We see da. Like, look, man, we just going about, you know, the evidence of what we see. You know what I'm saying, and what's being said. If that makes you on this side looking like you taking up for a rich kid, whatever, it is what it is. So I am be intrigued on where this goes, and so this kind of goes into the next topic, which is probably gonna be much, is the drones. I'm not sure if you've I didn't see your article, but I do have an article I can read here. But it was the drones. The drones were seen in the New York, New Jersey area, and so if people don't know what drones are, those are like the toys that a lot of cameramen use them. You know what I'm saying, when they get to a certain level, because they got to take pictures from above and get the Vic uses them sometimes and stuff like that. So the drones, let's see.
I was gonna say, what's that movie? The third Bad Boys movie they had it.
Shoot, might have been this latest one, man.
Well, I know,
But
it might have been, but you remember they was in the when they were trying to find that little undercover drug deal, and like the white guy and the Asian guy, they had the little drone go up, and he was kind of going.
Okay.
Was seeing everybody when they was in the little warehouse or whatever. Because it was that scene where basically that was like Will Smith could kind of supervise, but he wasn't supposed to be. You know, Mike Larry wasn't supposed to actually be in the field, and then he ended up going out there anyway, and you know, chaos ensued. But like the drone was out there.
Yeah.
But like that's what, for those of y'all who don't know what a drone is, it's basically like the little thing. It looked like it got the little helicopter propeller things on it. Yeah. And it flies around, and it can see and hear, record audio and video and stuff like that.
Yeah, I had to think about that, because I want to get 3 and 4 mixed up, but it's just 4 of them now, and so I'm thinking obviously 1. I know 1 like the back of my hand. 2 is obvious. Then 3 kind of fuzzy. Then the latest one they had in the 4 too, right? They had like a drone. I think they had a drone. I think they did have a drone in 4. But this right here said the Feds sending drone detection system to New York as mystery deepens. After weeks of fear and bewilderment about the drones buzzing over parts of New York and New Jersey, elected officials are urging action to identify and stop the mysterious flights. New York Governor Kathy Hochul, I'm saying her name right, says the feds are sending drone detection systems to the state after her request for additional resources to address the rash of sightings. Do you believe that? I don't particularly. They just said that the New York governor is sending drone detection systems to the state after her request for additional resources. Basically, like, we got you. You know what I'm saying? We about to kind of look into this. And so they basically came back out after looking into it and said it's nothing. It's an anomaly. Right. You know,
fake
whatnot.
News.
You know, right. You didn't see what you saw. It was called. I want to say Bad Boy. The John Will Smith was
Men
in
in Black.
Men in Black.
Oh, yeah.
I'm tripping. Yeah. When they do the little flash thing, you know what I'm saying? You didn't see what you thought you saw. So this whole situation, I thought it was interesting just because it's probably not nothing new. Maybe we just they're low enough now that, you know, making people that they can see them now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking they always been keeping an eye on particular people. Now more than ever, especially now after November happened. And so now I think some of this stuff is it's going to be. But we're not going to. I'm not going to expect the government to come out right now and be like, "Hey, we putting out drones so we can keep eye on you niggas." You know what I'm saying? See where you're going, where you're coming to. Da da da. This, and so it's going to come back like, "Hey, we looking into it. We came back. Nothing was found, but we're going to keep our eye on it. Just in case. We'll let you know what's up."
I mean, like I said, man, that like part of that creed is, and everybody's so quick to say, "Oh, well, if it was really this thing, why would they show you? Why would they tell you?" Part of their creed is that if I show you how the trick works, it's not deception. So if you continue to believe that it's still a trick after I show you how it works, you are self-deceived.
Yeah.
And that is why they show us in these movies, because they have to.
Mm-hmm.
They showed us in Contagion what would happen before COVID hit.
Yep.
They showed us in Avengers when they was asking about Hydra, and he said, "Okay, we've been keeping an eye on everybody who's a potential threat to us." He was like, "Oh, we keeping an eye on Captain America and Stephen Strange and the smartest guy in his science." Like he was saying that, "Oh, we're watching anybody that's a threat." Like they got to tell us what it is. So then when it happens, you're gonna have people that's like, "Oh, well, it was in the movie they showed us," and then you got everybody, no, cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
In other words, you can believe something, and somebody can show you or give you some more information, but you hold so strongly to the belief that you'll start to make up reasons why your belief is still solid, even though you got something. You got evidence showing you that no, the sky is actually blue. It's not green, but because you've been believing it's green and you've been fighting for it being green, you can see all of this evidence showing that it's blue, but you're going to stand and die on the hill of it being green because you want to hold on to the belief that you have. And that's what, so again, they show us in these movies. You have people who point it out. You have people who say, "Hey, they've been trying to tell us." But because we believe it was only one gunman with 3 magic bullets, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it was just this one person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And from where he was at, he was able to shoot him from the front of the head, from the back of the head, and the front of the head again. Like, how that's even possible don't make no sense. And the time it would take, because it could only fire 1 bullet, but in the time it would take him to reload, there ain't no way he could have hit him 3 times in rapid succession like that. But because we want to believe the lie, like you said, "Oh, you didn't just see that. you didn't just see that," but they show us in these movies that that's what they're doing.
Now, do you think? I think that's something that they do intentionally in movies because, one, we go to movies for what? Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we think a lot of it is not real, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we look at a movie, we see stuff like that happen, and be like, and kind of take it out of our head. And then when we see it in person, it's just like you said, like we don't. Yeah, I see it, but that ain't what that is because that'd be more like a movie. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't be like in real life. But to these people, credit in New Jersey and New York that have seen these drones, they've been hitting their councilmen, city, state people up. It's like, look, I hear what y'all saying, but this is not due. And a couple of them talking about citizens talking about they're gonna shoot them down if they see them.
Yeah, they should.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna shoot them down. With their rifle, whatever gun that they have. And so, I guess I'll read this part right here. And then it says, national security officials have said the drones don't appear to be a sign of foreign interference or a public safety threat. But because they can't say with certainty who is responsible for the sudden swarms of drones over parts of New Jersey, New York, and other eastern parts of the U.S., or how they can be stopped, has led leaders of both political parties to demand better technology and powers to deal with the drones. Yeah. And like to me, this is sound like more gaslighting. You know what I'm saying? Like to be like, hey, we looking into it. Just like you can say back in the 80s when they planted drugs in their neighborhood and stuff like that. Like, I don't know where this stuff, we'll look into it.
And the same person that allowed the drugs to come in, your wife got the whole DARE program. Like, make it make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why I said, but y'all are a unit. Y'all are one. That's like your right hand fighting your left hand. No, y'all are part of the same body. Yeah. We're going to create the problem and the solution. And we think, like, for anybody who think that they're not spying, How come Edward Snowden can't come back over here? Because he released all of that stuff. He talked about everything that the government was doing.
Who's Eric Snowden?
The guy that's hiding out in Russia right now.
That's I'm trying to think of the name. It's
The one he basically told, like, all the stuff they were doing, like the spying and the using your personal information, like all of this bomb. But again, for years people had been saying that. Mm. Oh, y'all conspiracy theorists, da 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 da,
until it became
and
real.
Everybody got a phone. And how come you can be talking about some hot wings or something, and then as soon as you go on Google, you see a freaking Wingstop ad?
Yeah.
You could be talking about, like, it's stuff that you're not even, if you look at something.
Yeah.
Next time you get on Instagram, it's like gonna be all of these images of stuff that you Googled or you looked up or you liked on Twitter or something. And then every time how does it do that? Well, it's an algorithm. No, because they are spying on you.
It's Now, one thing, I ain't gonna lie, it creeped me out. I don't know if you getting cold. You getting cold?
No.
Oh, okay, I thought, okay. But one thing that creeped me out, I think I had my phone, and then as soon as I got out, maybe I got on social media on Google or something, it gave me an ad for men, black men, they got like the dark marks on their neck or something, like some little cream or something like that, right? And I'm just like, I never looked anything up, anything for that. It's like, so even if you taking the camera, or even if you putting your phone down and you looking in the mirror and the camera looking up, you know what I'm saying? Is it possible that it's looking at, your features, your facial features or your body, and just looking, then now suggesting certain things that you may be.
Or if you use your phone to order something.
Yeah.
Not like you said, you didn't necessarily have to look like, but you could have ordered some lotion, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, okay, well, you may also like.
Yeah.
I mean, and not only that, like, everybody gets scam calls. How do you get the scam calls? Because they're giving your personal information away via your email.
I was talking about that earlier.
For people who don't, like, if you think that they ain't looking, that they don't know, and all of that, I mean, again, once that, again, the whole reason 9/11 happened, because they passed that, I forget what the law is called, but that bill, they passed where I think it's the Freedom of Information Act. I may be wrong, but basically what it is that we can look at your personal information and we can monitor your phone calls and ain't no more privacy. Yeah. Like, basically the privacy is gone. So like now, anytime you making a phone call, you think you know what I'm saying, you got your sneaky link or whatever, like you being sexy on the phone, you know what I'm saying, on the low. You got your little side jump, they listening.
Yeah.
And don't get famous, don't get powerful, because as soon as you do, they're going to be waiting to leak that out.
And one thing, I don't have an iPhone, but somebody that told me that does have an iPhone, saying the new feature that they have now, if you don't know about it, they're recording every conversation that you're doing, but you got to go into the settings and cut it off and turn it off. And a lot of people didn't know that. Like, I don't know, I don't have an iPhone, but a couple people, our church has an app, and we're in a men's group, and so somebody put out a message talking about, hey, if anybody got an iPhone, you know what I'm saying, look at this, because they're recording and doing everything without you knowing, unless you go into this setting and manually cut it off. It's automatically going to be on, you know what I'm saying, but you got to know where and when to kind of cut it off. So and I don't know, Android may have it that I know, but I did kind of look, but not to my knowledge right now. But this is part for the course and what we're dealing with. And so now, for me, even sometimes when I'm having certain conversations, I may leave my phone in this room in here, and then, you know what I'm saying, go talk or do something like that elsewhere, because, you just don't know, bro. You just don't know. Right. So it is what it is. So now let's get into the nitty gritty here, man. The nitty gritty, if y'all saw the thumbnail, Travis Hunter. You know what I mean? Travis Hunter. First I want to give a salute and shout out to Travis Hunter for winning the Heisman. He made history as a cornerback and a wide receiver. I think he ended up grabbing 8 awards, I think, for the best wide receiver in the nation, best defensive back. I don't know. I can't name all of them, but he won about 7, including the Heisman. Right. So he did that. He's been special ever since I saw him at Jackson State. 5-star coming straight out of high school. So he's, you know what I'm saying, well deserved in that. Coach Prime, you know, honestly, him and Travis and Shador probably end up being the first and second pick of the draft, if not first and third. You know what I mean? I don't think either one of them go further than 3. But, you know, salute to that cat on that. Now, we could just talk about his great field play, and we know where he stands. He's him, as Coach Prime says, which he is on the field. You ever seen him on the field on both ends of the ball? He's that guy. He's going to help any team out, hopefully. Ain't no hopefully. It's a pipe dream. When my Cowboys get him, you know, I'll be happy. I'm sure if the Niners get him, you'll be ecstatic as well, however that may go. But we're here for the, I want to say kind of for the mess with Travis Hunter's girlfriend. I think her name is Lena. Lena something with an L. And recently she has come under scrutiny, criticism, because some of the things that she has said. They brought up it was an old maybe TikTok video or something, and they were talking about how Travis wasn't her type in the beginning, and that she kind of left him on read when he reached out to her in the DM, and so it took 2 months for her to reach out, and so now the narrative is like, well, now it took her 2 months because, you know, this was back in high school. Now somebody, you know, let you know who this was. You know what I'm saying? And so now,
I ain't saying she'll go, dude.
Yeah. So, and that's hearsay. You can't really say she's a nice looker. She looks good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if she's Hispanic or whatever, but she's a looker, obviously. But what you think about that? Then I get mine. What you think about his girlfriend, and what are they that you know, like alluding to her? You think that's fair? Think that's foul? What?
Again, I think that two things can be true in this case. I mean, like, all I'm gonna say is that anytime you are a person of status, especially a male, if you are a celebrity, on any level, you know what I'm saying? Like, but especially if it looks like you're going to the next level. Like, and I hate to say it, especially with all these Diddy allegations, man, just pay for escorts. Like my boy said in what's that movie, Four Brothers? The reason why you get a hoe is you pay her to leave. Like, that's it. You pay her to leave. That's why I got said out of town shooters. Like, no, like you pay them to leave. If you think that somebody is into your celebrity and they love you for who you are, and they love you when your feet smell and when you got shit stains, they don't. They love that money. Because most of these dudes, when they go broke, or once they're not that celebrity anymore, these people are gone.
Yeah.
They're and you don't see too many of them. Oh, I lost everything, but she stood right beside me. She helped me through it. No, she's out. She was only there because of what you could do for her. You have elevated her status, and now she's a real housewife. Yeah. And she don't need you no more after that. So if you think you're going to find something, man, the best thing you could do is go to Wyoming or Idaho or North Dakota or somewhere where they don't know you niggas from nobody. And you can meet somebody who, you can pretend to be a farmer or something, and you can meet somebody who will love you for you. But if you get famous, if you blow up, like, they don't love you for you. And if anybody tells you that, they're lying. They are a liar. And the truth ain't in them.
Yeah, and I'm in total agreement with you. I don't know if I was going to play this thing. Now, she did come out with a video maybe last night, and she was explaining all the narratives that people was putting out there, including the one we just talked about. So I don't know if I want to put that out, but yeah, maybe I'll do that here in a second. Let me do that.
But then the audacity of some of these motherfuckers, like, how the fuck you with me for my money, but then if I'm out getting me some side action, you talk about you hurt. And this whole thing is a lie. Yeah. This whole setup is a lie. This whole thing is false. you're only with me because I can elevate you or because I can put you in this car or put you in this house or give you this status or whatever. But then, well, you don't really love me anyway. So since I'm out here having me some fun on the side, then you talk about how hurt you are and how disappointed you are. I can't believe it. I'm shocked and appalled. If you really that hurt, why you got to take me for 75% when you leave, when it's over with?
Not 75.
Yeah, like, well, look at Tiger. When old girl he was doing this dirt, but I'm saying but what I'm saying is,
but I'm with you though.
If it really is what my boy say, you wasn't in there when I was practicing shooting them shots in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, and this go way back to like Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
That broad ain't right one joke.
Yeah.
But you gonna get him for half because you don't really love the man.
Yeah.
Now, as Denzel said, yeah, you should leave with something, but like, come on now, some of these, like, it's unreasonable.
Now I'm gonna put it on audio on my phone. Maybe some of y'all can see what I'm talking about with that, but you're not gonna be able to hear it on that. But you're gonna be able to hear it on my phone because I shared it on my page just for knowing we were gonna be on the pod. And I didn't want to lose it because some stuff I do like that, I'd be like, dang, where I see that at?
Mm-hmm.
So I just share it on my page and, so I just know where it's at if I need to get it or not.
Okay, I'm going to be addressing all this stuff online because I'm
I'm not gonna play all
tired
of it, though.
emotionally and mentally of seeing people try to make me out to be a person that I am not. But with a testimony, without a test of faith. So I'm going to start from the very beginning with this my type thing. I got permission from Travis to say these things because these are previously things I didn't want online. But I'm going to tell y'all the full story just so y'all know. So Travis, when he first ever DM'd me, when we first met, I said I left him in my DM for 2 months, and people said, oh, she left him in his DM until she figured out who he was. That is not true at all. The real reason Travis sat in my DM for 2 months is because he DM'd me when he had a girlfriend, and her name was in his bio, so I instantly knew he had a partner. So I exited the message, and he sat there until he was single. I don't do home wrecking. I'm not a side piece. I don't stand for any of those things. I support women, so I would never do that to another woman because I would never want it done to me. So I ignored him until he was single. That's the real reason he sat in my DM. Then the second thing, when I said he wasn't my type, I did not mean attractiveness. I don't have a physical type, period. No two men that I previously dated looked the same. My first one was a white cowboy. Second one was a Mexican soccer player. Then I dated a black man who was a SoundCloud rapper. And then Travis. So I have never dated the same type physically. I don't care about what people look like or what they can give me. I date.
Yeah, maybe I'll play more here in a minute, but I don't want to. I've learned we got to play some and then we got to stop it. And then, you know what I'm saying? Can't do it too long. Right. Because it's like a 7-minute video. But just from what I gathered before, I think it's somewhat noble, somewhat that she's actually coming out to say something about it. And she said Travis gave her permission or whatnot. But it's also kind of like Travis just now getting into the gritty of his fame, right? He about to be in the league. And so if this little stuff is boiling with you inside, like what's going to happen when, you know what I'm saying, let's say he a New York Giant, right? And so he in New York, the media, the glitz, the lights and all this stuff. And now you're not dealing with this little petty stuff. You're dealing with actual, you know what I'm saying, girls or women coming up to his room and doing all, you know what I'm saying? So now, and she went to explain a lot. I wanted to get to a part. I listened to some of it. And she mentioned, she kind of called him out a little bit. She was like, yeah, Travis was the one, she used to take me to parties and he used to, sit in the parking lot, wait till we done and take us back home. You know what I mean? So it was like, so to me, I always talked about, I knew a dude like that in college, right? His girl go to the club. he don't go inside. He stay in the parking lot until she done, and then take her and her girls back home. Like that's to me, that's not a good look. That's not a good look on Travis' part. And then I think she also called him a cheater on this as well because because he was trying to holler at her while he still had a girlfriend at the time. So yeah, I think the whole thing is, like I said, it give her credit to a degree, but then it's like, sis, you kind of, if this bothers you right now to where people think they know you, like what's gonna really happen when you get into some real stuff? Like we haven't seen anything. It'd be different if somebody saw they took a screenshot of a DM that she responded to that somebody put out there or something. Like this is just real mediocre stuff. Just like, oh, this is what she looked like, and they're arguing this way, so she's mad this way. So this is all speculation. This is not like real stuff right now.
Yeah, like I said, man, when you get a certain level of celebrity, expect it. You know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't be surprised when it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, just facts, man. Like, it is no way in the hell somebody who knows who you are says, "Oh, I'm not into what people can do for me or whatever." And again, I'm just real interested to see, and I know they exist. But again, when you look at the Emmitt Smiths, the Scottie Pippins, the like we can go down the line. You know what I'm saying? Like hell, even on the flip side, you know what I'm saying? Look at Remy Ma and Papoose. Like this nigga held her down while she was in jail and everything.
I heard about that.
You know what I'm saying? Nasty work, diabolical work. And then so he moved on. Now you mad at Clarissa Shields. Don't you fight Clarissa Shields, Remy Ma.
Don't do that. Don't do it.
And when you get that ass whooped, don't be trying to sue. Because you talking real greasy. Like, it's just like if Clarissa tried to step to you in the booth. Don't do it, Clarissa Shields. Like Remy will body you on that mic.
Did you see where she did a little rap and it was kind of toward Remy Ma?
I did. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny to me, but I'm not it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Papoose probably wrote it. But then again, I mean, Clarissa is from Detroit, so I mean, she might be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of nice Detroit rappers.
Yeah.
Heck, my favorite rappers from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Royce 5'9".
Yeah.
But I also fool with Big Sean. But like I said, like even on the female side, the women's side, like again, she was a bigger celebrity than Papoose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like again, thinking that somebody is going to like, and again, like you had a guy that held you down, and when you was down, it was all about Pap. As soon as you get out, soon as you back in a position of strength, then it's like, man, good looking out, nigga.
Yeah.
And so you know what I'm saying, and I guarantee you, like, oh man, I love Emmitt Smith, and then he retired and he chilling out and everything like that, and then I don't feel the love no more.
Yeah.
Oh, when Scottie was in the NBA and doing oh man, I love you so much. And then, that NBA money kind of, you know what I'm saying? You ain't really on inside stuff like inside the NBA like that. Now that celebrity ain't hitting like it was.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, gonna get Joseph, well now, Joe Smith. I'm not gonna say his wife wasn't holding him down, but like basically it was like she stayed, he was like, man, and she knew I was she held me down. But as soon as that nigga retired, she left and got him for everything.
Oh yeah, I remember that story. I think we covered that.
You see what I'm saying? So now again, but if I really love you though, if the love is real, I'm not gonna look like if I can stay with you. No, you basically waited till he was done. Okay, this is where you at. This out. Okay, bam. Let me get that.
Yeah. Now with Travis, the only thing I would say, because a lot of this stuff is he said, she said. Now this is what I also heard. I think maybe they verified it. They're thinking about getting married in Tennessee, right? And so Tennessee, if you know the laws in Tennessee, doesn't really acknowledge like prenups or something in some legal basis to where if you didn't have it before y'all got together or whatnot. So the only thing that I would say to Travis or anybody in that situation, probably hold off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Usually, just for me, I would say no prenup, but he's one of one in the situation that he's in. You know what I mean? He should definitely probably cover himself on that. But then also too, to me, their relationship is in a sweet spot because usually like LeBron met Savannah in high school. You know what I'm saying? Travis met this young lady, I think their junior year or something in high school. So it's like, because usually like you get girls like, maybe you meet them in college or afterwards. And so, but also on the other side, Travis was probably always him even in high school. So you can probably already
knew. He was a 5-star recruit.
Right, he was a 5-star.
Like we know, got like, okay,
yeah.
Case in point, like Kinfolk, Cam.
Mm-hmm.
He last 2 years he been the starting quarterback. He been that guy. Mm-hmm. But I hadn't looked at his stuff, but I know he's not like a 5-star recruit.
Right, no, he's not 5.
You know what I'm saying? But you're talking about somebody that's him.
Yeah.
But now, like if you're a 5-star though, you're on another level.
And you probably been a 5-star since your freshman or sophomore year.
My other cousin, Torrey T-Head. Again, he was him, Mr. 83 points. But he was not a 5-star. But he was 83.
But he was him in
no,
state,
in the state, yeah, definitely him.
Yeah, region, all that.
But again, and so that just shows you it's still levels to it.
Yeah.
So in order for you to be a 5-star, like you are the best of the best.
Creme de la creme.
You know what I'm saying? Like you McDonald's All-American game, you the what is it, the East-West game or whatever it is they do in football. Like that's what you are. And so, like his junior year, like he didn't just pop up out of nowhere.
No, he did.
Like he was already that guy.
He was already that guy.
Now I'm not calling cap. Maybe he did have somebody. Maybe that's why she left him on red. But to say that you didn't know who he was or what he was doing, again, if y'all met in high school and you've been pretty much kind of around or dating him since then. Then you talking about I ain't never dated him. First of all, nigga, you had a fucking curfew. That don't matter. Yeah. Now, unless you with the same person that you was with when you first started dating, anything you did when you have a curfew does not matter. Yeah. Now, once you don't stay in mom and daddy's house, you ain't got no curfew. You can come and go as you please. You can come as often as you like or not. You can come before or after her. You can come on it like when you at that position.
Yeah.
Then let's talk about something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's easy to say like, oh, I've been celibate in my house. Yeah, it's easy to be celibate when you're in mom and daddy's house.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's very easy to be celibate then. Mm-hmm. When your dad like Robin Harris and house party. Don't go to bed just yet. That ass is not like, and so all I'm saying is I'm not saying what she said was a lie in terms of why she left him on red or whatever. But this idea that I didn't know who he was and I didn't have any ideas and I don't do, like, let's keep it a bean. We know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And what, like I said, she could have been telling the truth because even if you look at the timeline, he's not from Georgia. He's from Florida. Mm-hmm. So when he met her, he moved to Georgia. I think he moved to Georgia his sophomore year. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can, maybe not. But even now, even Savannah, let's say, because Savannah met LeBron in high school, but LeBron been him since 7th, 8th grade.
Right.
So to act like Savannah didn't know LeBron was going to be an NBA player, not as great as, you know what I'm saying, maybe he is, but this was the chosen one in 9th grade. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So even a little bit, the girl, she knew he was a really good football player, whether she knew the game, whatever or not. So, yeah. So I give them, I saw what Nightcap, I saw what Shay and Ocho had to say about it. And, they was just basically like, get out their business and, you don't know. But,
I mean, and heck, when LeBron was a rookie at 18 years old, she was pregnant with Bronny.
Yeah. So
you know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah. I'm with it. Like, I'm not really against it just because we know the life, or we've heard, how the life can do certain athletes in one way, but also I know what you having a partner and being married and being strapped down can actually do for your mental and your game if you have a good one. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, you ain't got to be worried about going out and doing this and doing this and doing that. I think that's one of the things. Now, we knew Michael Jordan, did whatever he did now.
Come on, man.
But
Jimmy Butler, Anthony Edwards, obviously Mike was doing what he was doing.
But I think him being married, like, gave him a foundation, you know what I'm saying, at the house. And, he had the family, he had the look, you know what I'm saying, had all that stuff. So I'm not against Travis Hunter, getting married to the young lady or whatever. But you got Coach Prime on the side over there that been through a couple marriages, and the other one ended in domestic violence with the lady hitting on him. You know what I'm saying? If you remember, that's Shador's mom and Shiloh and the girl that they had. They had their reality show together, and then they had the police come over there because they had her and her friend was beating up on Prime. And you know what I mean? So that whole situation. So I think he can be a good mentor to be like, do what you do.
Just didn't fight back.
But wait, he didn't fight back.
Yeah,
Which was smart.
Like we saw him fight Andre Rising.
Yeah, which was smart. He did the right thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like we know he got hands.
Yeah, he got hands. But you put some hands on that, he might have been in jail still right today.
Yeah, exactly. He knew what to do.
Yeah, he would have been in jail today. All right, so now we can kind of lump these two together. We was talking about the Duke accuser. This was back in 2004. Years ago, I remember.
It was a big scandal. Like
I remember the story because I thought this was something recent when they said the Duke accuser came out from jail. Then I looked at, I was like, nah, this was back 18 years ago. So that's do the math. What's this? 06? Yeah, about 06 or something like that. So she came out and said that she lied on the Duke lacrosse team. Now, get a visual. I don't have a picture now, but this is a real black young lady, you know what I'm saying, that said that white men on the Duke lacrosse team raped her at a party or something like that, and basically ruined their lives. I think they went to jail for a moment. I think they're out. I think, but to come out, she got you get a conscience when you get a conscience. So whatever with that, but she came out 18 years later. And after all the damage is done,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Then it's a woman lying. Then we have the case what we talked about last week with Jay-Z. And, his accuser at the time was 13 in 2000. So, was she about almost 40 now or so? And she came out and said that she lied on Jigga on their recent lawsuits essay case. You know what I'm saying? So this is just another example of why, which I like, one of the things I do like about our justice system, it is you're not guilty, you know what I'm saying, until kind of proven, you know what I mean? So because we know women nowadays, period, whatever a woman says to the police is law, quite honestly, if it comes to domestic violence, basically on anything, really. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's how... when I had my situation and stuff like that, to where, you gotta, you cut it off. You just go ahead and get the cops involved because if a female get a cop involved,
right,
you're not gonna have anything to stand on. You know what I'm saying? And so these cases like this, I think, is good for everybody to see because, we know a lot of these women be lying.
I mean, like when my situation happened. You know what I'm saying? A few years ago.
Yep.
Like, and it was so funny. And we talked about the phones earlier and everything like that. Man, that phone, because I had all the text messages.
Yeah.
So the two things that did it was, number one, you actually put dates down. And it just so happened that the dates that you claimed that I, did whatever, like I wasn't even in the state. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of gave a rank, like, and I'm like, you know what? If you want to add 2 days on the front and 2 days on the back, maybe she's mistaken. Like I wasn't in on those days either. And I was like, but while I was out of town, like this is what I was being texted, by the way.
Right.
And when I tell you prior to that, when you're telling this, I mean, I'm talking about tears like you damn near snot. As soon as, and he put them text messages up on the screen so you could see the text, and he was reading them out loud.
Uh-huh.
And I promise you, if you could have saw the faces of the bailiffs and the, you know what I'm saying, the clerks and stuff, how they was looking at me, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you ain't shit ass nigga. Da, da, da. Like I'm telling you, like if they looks could talk,
Right.
like oh you nothing. And then when he started reading them text messages, when I tell you them tears stop, that's not stop. All of a sudden,
Stop.
oh well you know Roche is a very intelligent man. He's very strategic. What they got to do with you lying?
Wow.
What does that have to do with what you said not being true?
Yeah.
And so now, on the one hand, to your point, yes, now when they say something, it is law. I believe that any situation, I don't believe it's a situation where if a woman says that they haven't, that it should be taken lightly. However, before it gets put out in the public, before we destroy somebody's life, because it's been documentaries out about football players or athletes or scholars. You got a scholarship to go to this college, and somebody comes out and say you did something, you lose everything. In some cases, you go to jail, you lose your mind. In some cases, you know, you come out and you write a book about it in 2020 or whatever, want to hear your story, and they pay you, but you don't get them years you lost back. Like, we actually saw this in Daddy's Little Girls, if you remember. The character that Idris Elba played.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like it did, but now again, when a woman comes forward, we got to take it seriously, because for years, for long ago, they didn't take it serious, especially if you were somebody of status or you were well to do. Like they ignored those women, and so that's not fair or right either. But at the same time, especially now with the way technology is, like you need to vet these folks out. You know what I'm saying? Like the same thing happened with Mike Tyson. And Patrice O'Neal had a joke. He said, I knew Mike was innocent when he got out. He was doing an interview with Greta Van Suskin. And she was like, well, Mike, you know, how do you feel now that you're out? And he said, oh, I really wish I would have raped the bitch. She looked like, and he said, because if I did, I would have went to jail for something.
Yeah.
He said, I would have went to jail for what I did.
Yeah.
And basically what he's saying is I didn't do that, and I had to lose 3 years of my life, 3.5 years of my prime years. I got out of shape. You know, I got lazy, I got fat. You know what I'm saying? And so now I'm not the same person that I was. And keep in mind, we think that when Mike got out, he lost. Mike only lost 4 more fights. You know, prior to this Jake Paul bullshit. Right, yeah. But he only lost 4 more fights after that.
Yeah.
Dude's record was like 50-5 and like 1, I think. One, you know what I'm saying? 1 no contest. Like he only lost 4 more fights after that. Like he still was a killer, but it's like, but he ain't the same one that was, you know what I'm saying, 29 and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's different. It's different when you go to jail, bro. Like,
and he lost, and so again to your point, you got to listen to these people when they come forward. However, you got to vet these folks out.
You do.
Like, and we got to use some common sense. Like I said, if y'all haven't got a chance to watch it, watch that documentary. I believe it's W. Kamau Bell. We got to talk about Bill Cosby. And a lot of those, and so now again, I went in objective, but what I didn't like about the documentary, you didn't have anybody on the other side. Everybody was basically a Cosby basher. You got Michael Jai White selling out. And again, what people miss is, oh yeah, I was on the Cosby Show, and man, I was on the bus, and we were riding to go to be an extra on the Cosby Show, man, and I was feeling this young girl, and you know what I'm saying, and man, we get there, and man, the chick I'm feeling, man, she go back there with Cosby, and I'm like, man, you got a whole wife, and you like, so really, when you talk about Cosby doing this stuff, you salty because the chick that you like, he got. And he clearly talks about riding the bus, and this chick is on the bus, and da-da-da-da-da, and then she go off in the back room with Cosby. But, man, one thing a lot of them women had in common. Oh, and then the third time I went over there, I brought my friend with me. And we both woke up with our drawers. But hold up, the third time? So you went back?
Yeah.
And this is like months, like this is months later when he came back to, you know what I'm saying? Like it ain't like you went back, you know, Thursday, Friday. It's not like you went Thursday in April, then you went Friday in, you know what I'm saying, July, then you went Saturday in September. Yeah. Like you kept going back. And so it's like it's stuff like that. That not to say that he didn't do anything improper, but like sometimes, man, we be throwing these people like we hear accusation and we automatically assume somebody's guilty just because it's an accusation made. And we got to vet these people out. We've got to look at all the evidence. We got to stop condemning people just because an accusation is made. And if somebody is guilty, whatever the consequence is for that, man, they need to do all of that.
Yeah.
But if somebody innocent, the same energy we had when we pumping all the stuff, that we need to have that same energy when we say exonerated.
Yeah, and it's kind of tough because, we both have daughters and stuff, and so, we don't want to discount women that come forward that actually, have been, abused or, you know what I'm saying, essayed. But then also cases like this, we talking about the Duke accuser and the Jay-Z accuser. It's like these situations or these women make it harder, you know what I'm saying, for other women, that actually do come forward. So, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of like you hate to be like, oh, women be like, oh, somebody da-da-da did me. Then we be like, oh, okay. We don't, oh, you don't care about women. But like, no, but we just kind of know how the game can go. And so let's go to due process and see if, kind of see what sticks and what's what. Because.
And some of them women that come with that same energy, you keep that same attitude when somebody say that about your son. When somebody say that about your brother. Because when it's your son or your brother or your uncle or somebody, and all of a sudden, oh, well, he wouldn't do that. Okay, well, then have that same compassion when it's some man that you don't know. And again, I'm not saying you need to vet these out. I had an incident where one of my goddaughters, I believe she was in like the 8th grade at the time, 7th or 8th grade. And, her mom had called me, was like, hey, I need you, do you mind when you get a chance to go up to the school? I'm like, what's up? And she, was like, well, she was saying that one of her male teachers like touched her inappropriately and it made her uncomfortable. And I know what my natural reaction is, but I want you to listen to what she said. And I know you're going to be objective about it. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then we'll proceed forward. I was like, okay, I got you. So I asked my God, I'm like, okay, what happened? So she told me, what was going on. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to talk to the teacher and see what's what. And so, again, based on what both of them said, the uncomfortable touching was she basically got upset because she got in trouble. She's irate. And so she's kind of throwing a tantrum. And she's kind of up in the teacher's face. And he put his hand on her shoulder and said, can you please, can you come on to your seat, please? And, we're talking like that was the uncomfortable touching.
Yeah.
And so when I asked her, I was like, I said, did he touch on your shoulder like this? And yeah, and I ain't feel. I'm like, sweetie, when you say something like that, people's mind automatically goes to something inappropriate. This was not done like in a dark room. This was not done away from people. This was done in the classroom with all the other students in there. And you're throwing a tantrum, and he put his hand on your shoulder and is using the other hand as, can you come on to your seat? But now that could have, if the wrong person had heard that, that could have ruined that man's life. That could have ruined his livelihood.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And cause again, and you're really mad because you got in trouble.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so again, how many times you had sex with a guy and you thinking that's gonna be your boo, and he really was just hitting it and quitting it, and so now you mad. Yeah. How many times has a guy rejected you, and now you in your feelings? How many times you was having fun, but then now other people making fun of you? It's like, oh, you wanted to have sex with 2 guys. It was fun. You enjoyed yourself. But now everybody calling you a hoe and say you got a train ran on you. So now you got to save face. Yeah. It was fine when you had a dick in each hand, but then now that everybody's saying you're a hoe, now you got assaulted.
Yeah.
And because you had a drink, now I was drunk. Yeah. And you drink more than that at home on the weekend. You came to the party to hold to, like it wasn't that much drinking going on. You wasn't sloppy. You wasn't passed out. You wasn't not yourself, but you got embarrassed. You're ashamed. You did something now that you may regret, something that may follow you or embarrass your family. And so to save face, you don't think about the consequences of the other person.
it's a cold game because even some of the stuff we were talking about with the Daystar allegation stuff, who they said was Pete, you know, it's like not to give the other people credit on the Daystar side, but it's like if they did prosecute Pete, his life and ministry is over with. You know what I'm saying? So in order to protect, you know what I'm saying, even if you're wrong, like we just not gonna do nothing to him because since it's a dude, since it's a grown man, and this man is in ministry, it's like we just gonna try to put it under a rug because, like you said, it can be unfair on one side, but then it's a line, man. So it's kind of tough to even look at it because you want to believe the little girls and the women that do this, but then you got some scandalous people out here to where now it's like, you know, you kind of get both sides while somebody would wait 20 years to say something. Mm-hmm. And then now you get why, you know, even if I did say something, you know, you wouldn't necessarily believe me, you know. Right. So it's just like you got to go. And then on the other side, too, you got lawyer fees, man. This stuff is not cheap. Right. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't want to come out and say it because they don't want to go through the whole legal process and having to get a lawyer, have to get a loans out to get all this stuff. Like it can be a whole hassle.
When it's a high profile case, a lot of people don't know those.
It's a hassle, man.
Is that if it's a chance that you can win some money, a lot of lawyers will do that pro bono, meaning they're not charging you until you get paid. Yeah, they're expecting to you. Yeah. So now if it's really about the justice being served. And most of the time, it's not. Most of the time, it's a cash grab.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, to your point, well, now if I can't get no money, then yeah, it is gonna cost me something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, like how they call them ambulance chasers, like it's just like those things. Oh, if you had an account with Bank of America 20 years ago, you may be entitled to this $25 check because we got to settle with so many millions of people. So all you're gonna get is about between $20 and $35. But you sure sending that email back. Yep, I had a bank account with Bank of America. I need my $20.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like you don't even remember if you had a Bank of America bank account.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like but all they said is free money.
Mm-hmm.
And so now when somebody becomes a celebrity, anybody that you had sex with back in the day, anybody that you used to date, any ex-girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Anybody you was in the back of your parents' car at a party with, it's coming back, and all I'm saying is that we need to differentiate between people making bad decisions and people being taken advantage of. And if you make a bad decision, you live with that bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've been taken advantage of, then the person that took an advantage of you needs to pay whatever the consequence is for that. But like, let's stop. Oh, I make a bad decision, and so to exonerate myself. To resolve myself of any accountability, I'm going to take JB down.
Yeah. And it's a lot of that going on. That's why it's, you know, we just say, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because, you know, like I said, we got daughters, so it's
pay
easier.
For escorts, fellas. Pay for escorts.
Yeah, pay for
just
escorts.
Don't fly them out because apparently now they're sex trafficking.
No Diddy. Yes Diddy. All Diddy.
No, man, Boosie said they ain't hit Diddy with a Rico, they hit him with a Freako. He said they hit that man with a Freako.
This is true. They did. Exactly, they did. So yeah, man, that's unfortunate, but it's great for Jay. And I don't like somebody came out. That's what I was thinking about. Maya Moore's husband. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right, yeah.
He went to jail
for something he didn't do?
He went to jail he stayed in there for 15 years or something like that. You know, similar situation. He was in the hood, but he didn't do it. They just pinned the crime on him because they didn't have nobody else. Right. And so, yeah, man, stuff like that is crazy. So this last one here, this could be a quickie. But did you check out the Dr. Dre and Snoop album? Have you listened to some of it?
Snoop is Snoop again.
Yeah. Now, tell me what you think about it.
I mean, it's.
I'm gonna say,
it's a. I mean, like. All music is really subjective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't like a particular genre or style, it don't matter. You know, like Kendrick just put out a classic, but if you don't like Kendrick, oh, that nigga trash.
Right.
And meanwhile, like Drake can be serving you Reggie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, because it's in a flavored cigarillo. Oh my God, this the best dro ever. You know what I'm saying? This that za, this that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just a great cigarillo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a different white owl. That's all. But that's why I said music is subjective. You know, like if you like a certain thing or a certain person, it's gonna be good to you. If you don't, if that ain't your speed, if that ain't what you like, it don't matter how good it is sonically. Like, it could be a work of art. Like, Drake could be the hip hop Quincy Jones, which he is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say, man, my uncle pointed this out to me, and I erroneously it. So again, I be standing corrected. But I was talking about how, like, Quincy Jones didn't make another Michael Jackson. Like, and Quincy Jones was that dude. He had way more stuff than Michael Jackson. He had way more Grammys and awards and everything like that before and after Michael Jackson. Like, he is immeasurable. He is the creme de la creme. Like, he scored movies and documentaries and everything like that. Like, so I misspoke, you know, in making a comparison. I was trying to juxtapose something, but I underplayed how great Quincy Jones was. But with that being said, like, Dre is like the hip hop Quincy Jones. Like, basically, if the doctor get a hold of you, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's revived careers. He's like delivered some babies and created careers. You know, if he put the stamp on it, you know, like 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying is what it was because Dr. Dre had a stamp on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, NWA, Eazy-E, Snoop, DOC. They were what they were because Dre had his stamp on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they thought Nas and AZ and Foxy was finna change the game because Dre was about to produce The Firm. You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, it didn't do what it was supposed to, but, like, man, they thought, oh, Nas finna be Dre. Oh, it's finna be over with.
Yeah.
And it was at one time they thought Bone Thugs and Harmony was gonna do an album with Dre. They're like, oh, it's finna be like, if the doctor gets a hold of you, it's gonna be great. And so, is this a great album? Yes. But I think that Snoop is so far removed from he's doing so much more stuff now. Yeah. Like he ain't even rapping sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he doing so much stuff now. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when John Cena come back to wrestling now. It's like, ain't you in a movie or something? Like, we know you from this, but, like, you don't do that no more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you over here now. And so, like, this nigga got, you know, weed brands and be kicking it with Martha Stewart and hosting with the Olympics and doing that. Like, so when you come out and put out and it can be great, but it's like,
You hit it on a nail on the head on that, on the last part you were saying. Like, sonically, as you were saying, the album is, like, Dre still got that special sauce. You know what I'm saying? He still got it going with that. Lyrically, Snoop, killing it. He sound real hungry on the album, like, especially the jump Out the Blue. Thank you to John he got with Method Man on there. He got Eminem and 50 on the junk called Gun and Smoke or something. I think it's great, right, as you said, but it's like, if this came out 20 years ago, you know what I'm saying? We like, hey,
like
we
right after he left No Limit.
Yeah, this would have been different. But it's just like, to me, if Kendrick came out with an album like this, talking that like that, this would be the greatest album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Probably in the last 5 to 10 years, easy. But now but Snoop is like, you like 50. Like, when we see you on the Olympics, like, you corporate now.
Like I said with Martha Stewart. Like,
yeah, like, you corporate now. Like, I get it. Like I said, he really talking that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, sonically, the album, the features are great, but it's just kind of like, okay. Like, it's not really repeatable for me, what I like to listen to all the time. Like I said, beat-wise, like, I ran through it, but it's like, to your point, I'm like, it's cool, but it's not like you really on that right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I had to just, like, give it a 5 mics or not, sonically and just rapping lyrically wise, you would probably give it 4 or 5 mics, I think. But just giving context where we are, 2024, who Snoop is, all the background and stuff behind it. It's like it's good, but
Well, it's kind of like, so now we just had Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up. It's almost like, man, you done had turkey, dressing, macaroni and cheese, potato salad, greens and cabbage, yam, candy yam, sweet potato pie, lemon meringue pie,
mac and cheese,
pecan pie,
yeah,
pumpkin pie if you like that.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever you like, man, pot roast,
Yeah.
with the potatoes and the carrots, honey baked ham. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm talking about you eating, right?
Yeah.
You know, like hell, some people like have chitlins on that. Like, man, you eating. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I feel
like you eating. You through that, man. You eat. You lay back. That itis kicking in. You holding your stomach, and then somebody comes in and brings in a T-bone steak, a loaded baked potato, some asparagus, broccoli. You know what I'm saying? It's got like that.
Got all that.
What's that sauce they be putting on the butter? The garlic butter sauce.
Butter sauce on the steak.
Yeah, on the steak. Yeah,
dripping off,
right,
sizzling.
But it's like after you just got through eating all of that, man, it's delicious.
Yeah.
But I can't even.
I can't do
You know what I'm
it
saying?
right
I'm
now.
full. Like I can't.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, you know, with everything, with all the other music that's going on, or with everything that Snoop is doing in his career, it's like, man, oh man, you Martha Stewart, and you on the Olympics, and you on these commercials and movies and TV shows and this, that, and the third. You're doing this, that, and the third, and it's like then you come with that, and it's like, I don't know that I don't know that I want to, hear you doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me know next time you and Martha Stewart gonna be on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me know when the next movie coming out, or the next. Let me know when the next Weed Strain come out.
Or when you're producing an album for somebody,
and I mean,
or
he
writing,
does own Death Row now.
He does. He got artists.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Snoop is a legend. I don't even think he deserves to be on any. I heard somebody say this, like he ain't even on the Mount Rushmore. He like in Mount Olympus now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he don't like Mount Rushmore now. I would say it's for people who currently like. You know what I'm saying? Like his status is so legendary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a mythological level now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so to me, you got to mention Snoop in the same breath as Jay-Z, Nas, Tupac, Biggie, Rakim.
Yeah.
You know, Eminem is one.
Yeah.
LL is one. Like, but you got to mention him as one of those goats. Yeah. You know, especially the West Coast. Like, he is definitely the West Coast goat.
Voice wise, you got to say Snoop voice is like a goat. Dog.
Yeah, no, his
voice is like
10 out of 10.
Yeah, his voice
you
is
know
like that.
Laid back player, like he's a legend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, it's almost like, watching Jordan go out and hoop now. Like, you still Jordan. Yeah. But, like, nobody want to watch you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't finna do that now. Yeah. But you still might, though. Yeah. You him. You Himothy. You know what I'm saying? But, like, it's...
Yeah. When I look at Dre, I give him credit because this is something, like, in our generation... I remember they're talking about it for months. They've been putting out snippets of songs for a long time. And so we've heard stuff, and they'd be like, I remember Matt Barnes and Stack were talking about it, because I think they were one of the first ones to get a preview of it. Oh, man, they coming out. They ready, man. It's going to be something like Snoop, like Gin and Juice album, something like that. Like, I get it, but then I was like, but it can't, though.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, if I'm looking at Dre, I think I saw some of the Drink Champs interview, and so what I would like to see is kind of Dre, go forward with newer artists to get into the lab with them, to make them kind of not sound like Snoop, but like, push that next generation to make some stuff like this album, but just, in this era, you know what I'm saying? Instead of like, we know Drake can still do it, but it's like you never gonna redo Dre Day. No. You're never gonna redo Gin and Juice. Like all the stuff that's on the album, like the Out the Blue, deep where they kind of going back and forth every 4 bars and stuff like that.
Because it's deep cover. 187 on an undercover car.
Right, like that's classic. Like, and they tried to go back and forth. And like I said, it's dope. It's dope. Bro.
I mean, even
it's
on
dope.
What is it, the Chronic 2001?
The next episode. Yeah. Next episode.
La 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 la.
Yeah, like you're never gonna read.
And that was when he should have done. If they would have put out an album after that.
Yep. And
But man, the Chronic 2001 was like,
yeah, that was dope right there. Cause we've been waiting forever. What was that? That detox.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I think it's crazy. We're there on that because I was thinking the same. It's great, but it's like it's just a different feel nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't put it up there. Like still give me Kendrick and what he put out a few weeks ago.
Gen X.
You know what I'm saying? Gen X. So it's like it's bumping. Dre is still Dre. Snoop we know can still, you know what I'm saying, got the voice, can rhyme and do, like he sounded real hungry on this album. But it's like, okay, what's next? You know what I'm saying? So it's cool, but it is what it is. Let's get a couple of these quickers, man, before we get on out of here. And I keep on fuzzing up on this thing. Golly. What we got for the quickie here? One, we got a Randy Moss update. What we got? What we got?
Man. And again, if reports are to be believed, it is liver cancer.
Yep, I saw that.
So again, prayers out to Randy Moss and his family. Again, he's somebody who I watched his whole career. And you know me, I'm like a Jerry Rice guy. You know what I'm saying? So like. It on the one hand, it was great to see him do what he did, but like it also hurt because it's like, dang, he got the potential to kind of get up there with my guy, but at the same time, it was like, man, this dude is something special, and just to see, and he gave us great, sound bites and moments like the moon and you know what I'm saying, at Green Bay, or when they asked him about the fine and the straight cash, homie,
right.
Like he gave us great sound bites. But to see him transition into his media career, whether it's doing the college or the NFL game day,
got Moss.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? It's great to see his analysis, and just the maturity that he's shown. The humility that he's shown. Getting in the Hall of Fame, even though he knew he was a Hall of Famer, but the humility that he had. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't see that too often. And again, I'm a T.O. guy. Like he went it because he spent more years in San Francisco. He kind of went in for the Hall of Fame. It's like, well, you did your damage as a 49er. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was my guy. But the difference, the juxtaposition is the lack of humility. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And like the difference is you got two guys with similar abilities, but the humility, the growth, the maturity of this guy, and you hate to see it. Because now he's kind of at a place where he's at peace, he's happy, and so I just hope that he recovers from this.
Definitely.
I hope he has a great, testimony on the back end of this. We know my thoughts on it, man, because I've lost several family members in the last few years. My thoughts is fuck cancer,
right?
But like I said, I hope he recovers soon, and praying for he and his family.
Yeah, same for me, man. You said it all there. You couldn't say it any better, but yeah, prayers out to his family, man. That's all we can do in this. Hope for the best. I'm sure he's gonna have a lot of, what to say, fan cards,
right.
You know what I'm saying, to keep his spirits up. You know what I'm saying, because you're gonna need stuff like that,
right?
Depending on how he's gonna go through the process, whether that's chemo or whatever. Right. So yeah, shout out, prayers to his family. This next one here, the grand jury did indict Luigi. You know what I'm saying, for the murder of a UHC CEO killing as an act of terrorism. So they did actually indict him. We said allegedly, whatever, the past week because of all the stuff. So update on that, I guess, be coming all through 2025, I'm sure. Next one here, I don't know if you saw, Caitlin Clark won the Time Magazine Athlete of the Year. Yeah. And in our interview with who was it? Was it Carly Champion or was the other black girl? I can't think of her name. The tall girl. She's on NBC now on Sunday Night Football. I can't think of her name, but she sat down with her, and she had to say. She said, "We need to celebrate black WNBA players more," and she also mentions her having some white privilege, which. Her publicist is A1. Whoever her publicist is, she says all the right things. And so what I don't like, personally, like I said, this is a quickie, so I don't want to get too deep into it, is that, Like, come on, girl. Like, pop your stuff, right? This is your.
Yeah, and I was just showing you that, like, he reposted.
Oh,
Like
that's
I
your
said,
boy.
Yeah,
That's your
he
boy.
always, man, always.
Okay,
But yeah, I'll
bet.
say something about that. But
No,
you
no.
said
But
she always look.
She mentioned the celebrate black NBA play WNBA NBA players more, and reaching back in history because they're the one that paved the way and all this stuff, which was fine. But I just want her to like you ain't even like just pop your stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? You're her. You're the one that helped really, you know what I'm saying, put the WNBA in this light right now. Like, don't bring up the stuff about just because, you know what I'm saying, that's what they want to hear, and you doing like they feelings, you know what I'm saying. So I just think, what she said a lot of stuff that was good, PC stuff, but it's like you didn't have to mention, no, this is a award for you, you know what I'm saying, and just pop your stuff, bro. You ain't gotta
but
be
that
like.
goes back to like what I was saying earlier, and not to say that she doesn't deserve the award and that she should not take some pride in that, but I think that she's recognizing, because again,
I'm cool with that.
you know what I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
like as great as her season was, and I think we talked about this, like in the same year that Candace Parker won NCAA championship, College Player of the Year, Tournament MVP, Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year,
WNBA
you know what
title.
I'm saying, like WNBA title, Finals MVP. Like,
Yeah.
ain't no better. Like, you can talk about, but like, nobody had a better year than that.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the closest maybe you could say Magic when he won, national championship, at the end of his college year, and then the next year, you win the NBA championship and you're the Finals MVP. Like, maybe that's the closest, but the amount, but Candace got, you know what I'm saying, NBA MVP, WNBA MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
I get what I'm saying. And so, like, what I'm saying
that.
is like, so when you say that and this person don't even get, you know what I'm saying, honorable mention for Athlete of the Year, but now you get it, I understand why she's saying that. And all I'm saying is she's not saying that they're not wrong for voting for her. But what she is saying is that, look, I realize as good as I am, it's been other people who have been just as good, if not better. And so let's not act like I'm reinventing the wheel, that I'm doing something special. And I should be highlighted. But like, let's not leave these people out too. And when it's somebody else next year, like, let's not downplay them. You know what I'm saying? Like, give them the same respect that you've given me. And that's all I'm saying. When you are a person of influence and you have that power and you know it's injustice that's been done, you don't have to single people out. But you do. It is good to point it out and say we got to do better.
But do you got to do it every time though? That's where I get it, because she's already said this in previous statements and interviews and stuff like that.
2 years from now, 3 years from now, if she's still doing it, then yeah, you can kind of stop.
Yeah.
But she's still in her first year. Like, this was just her rookie year. I don't potentially see 5 years from now. 5 years from now, if you done won a couple of MVPs, you may got a championship or two, and you still talking about we need to uplift black women, I'm like, okay, chill out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She said it a lot lately.
But
that's the only reason I'm saying that.
I think initially, though, on the front end, she wasn't saying anything. She was kind of popping her stuff and just like, oh, well, I'm not trying to say I'm better than anybody. I'm just a player. She was alluding to it.
Yeah.
And so, but still, and she kind of sees the ridiculousness of how people are going.
Yeah.
And she didn't ask to be the great white hype or the great white hope or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And she recognizes that, hey, if this was somebody else, they wouldn't be doing that. And so I get it. And so what can I do based on my position? And she ain't saying don't give me my award, don't give me my shine. But she is saying also, when it's somebody else's turn, give them the same energy you're giving me. And that's when we're in certain positions, I think that is, what we should do.
Right. I agree. I just think, but you said once or twice, if you keep on going down that same wheel all the time, that's where I'm like, I get it. And it feels almost like she's getting pressured to say stuff like that. But like I said, salute to her and a salute to all the women that came before her. I get it. I just think she just needs to don't say that all the time or most of the time when she get into a situation like that and get an award. Another quickie here is ABC is the network is giving Trump $16 million for defamation of character suit for all the stuff that so they're going to owe Trump and his team $16 million. I thought that was intriguing, especially a network like ABC, which is owned by I think ESPN has a piece of ABC and stuff too. I think so. That's interesting. Let's see. You got anything else for a quickie, real quick?
I just want to give a shout out. You said what?
I was thinking about that Memphis City school stuff.
Oh,
I don't know too much about that.
Man,
so
I feel like, and I hate because we probably are not going to be in next week because it's Christmas Eve. So, I mean, unless it's another day or something you want to get in, I really want to. I really want to get some more information, on that before we really dig in because it's just happened.
It did. I thought you maybe knew. That's the only reason I brought it up because I didn't know if you knew. I just saw boy Zed went to high school with. He made a post just about an hour before we got on, and I didn't know what he was talking about. And he was just like, "Man, this is just about the direction of the city." And he had about almost 30 comments on there, people going in. And so you're right. We need to do it justice.
Yeah, no, like I said, I want to make sure before we jump to one side,
on here too.
We got all the information.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm just gonna give a shout out to our guy, friend of the pod, DJ Kenny Kane. Like he reposted. Like it's been lately. Like every time we post one, he's reposting. So man, we appreciate the support. Like I said, shout out to MKJ and Marcus Carter. Mo Kicks and Bruce Lee.
No doubt.
Because pretty much every time we post, a video, they comment faithfully. They love it. They like it. Shout out to B Howard. You know what I'm saying? Who always gonna comment. On posts. So like I want to give love to the people who are always supporting us. And always,
salute to Jay Sanders too. He was in the chat. I noticed he gave a salute in the chat.
Oh yeah, man. No, definitely got to salute J Mac, man.
Yes,
definitely got to salute the OG.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Like Button himself. You know what I'm saying? Mr. The organization does not care.
Yes,
but man, that's big bro, man, and we appreciate all of y'all who rock with us and support, man. We I'm not gonna say we couldn't do it without y'all, but I will say that, man, the love that y'all do show is greatly appreciated. It's very humbling, and it helps us.
And it helps, bro.
Go forward. Yeah, it definitely helps us go forward.
Like, because that stuff like that, like,
because they don't have to do it.
They don't have to do it. Plus, we need to be honest about it. Like, we both strong. We want to say people say alpha men, and so it's like we're strong ourselves. We have strong fathers, and so we have some confidence in ourselves. But when you're doing stuff like this, man, when you have your
and
peers,
it's good that other strong men,
support you and give you a right on and stuff like that. Like that stuff helps. You feel me? So it's saying it's not remiss like, oh, we don't need we on YouTube and stuff like that. Yeah, we
need somebody.
yeah. We definitely do need that, man. So yeah, man. Until next time, continue with that executive mindset.
And most definitely keep it presidential.
Salute.
Arrivederci. Bow.
All right. Yeah. Ooh, I got to pee too. Golly. Yeah, I got to get work. I don't know what is that. The camera.